What's going on, Jerome's? So news broke over the weekend that the Vikings were having a free agent visit with wide receiver Rondale Moore, and just got all excited about things because Rondale Moore, hasn't worked out in the league due to injuries and circumstance. Arizona, whatever, right? But you're just hoping, sitting, waiting, wishing Jack Johnson style. It's like, hey, true freshman 2018 Rondale Moore for Purdue was a bad dude. Then injuries and the Rona is just like, it's never really panned out on that potential in the league. And you're just like, hey, he could be the missing dynamic piece for the Vikings because he's got the world-class speed, he's got world-class return ability, and just as that gadgety wide receiver 3-4, just absolutely just be like perfect for the Minnesota Vikings. But start to raise some eyebrows a little bit as the visit came and went. No deal was done, and now apparently Rondale is shopping around. Rap sheet: free agent wide receiver Rondale Moore, who visited with the Vikings last week, is visiting the Bears today per me and Mike Garafolo. So, of course, I don't know, maybe Rondale just wants to sign up with a winning organization that's going to take back the North and never give it back. Don't know, but there's a couple things here. So why no Rondale? So a major concern about Rondale, as well as Jeff Okudah, who the Vikings are visiting with today, is medicals. And when there is these free agent visits ahead of signing a contract, medicals are usually involved. So they want to check out that knee. Rondale, unfortunately, tore his ACL during joint practices when he joined the Falcons last year after the Cardinals traded Desmond Ridder for him. All right, so he didn't play down in football last season, and even though we're approaching 9 months removed from that ACL, you just want to make sure before you sign a contract. So was there some concerns there? Also, just in terms of regular negotiations, so money, totals, guarantees, years, all that stuff, I'm guessing that Moore would garner like a very cheap 1-year deal. And what's interesting is that the Vikings are in good shape right now for comp picks, but they don't want to cross that $3.5 million threshold where you could have some cancellation on the chart. So it could be a spot where they're like, hey, we can offer you X amount, or we could wait until after the draft when the compensatory pick window closes, and then we'll offer you X amount. Well, that's certainly well and good, but nothing can be formally done if that is the case. So I understand why Rondale Moore could be shopping around, as I can't spell at all. Lastly, like role on offense. So the Vikings, even Rondale Moore, we talked about how he and Jalen Speedy Naylor wouldn't exactly cancel each other out because they're both different types of wide receiver threes. Rondale Moore, more of a slot machine, horizontal threat yards after catch guy. Jalen Naylor, your traditional speedy outside receiver. But Moore would also be huge in the return game. I think he would be a clear upgrade over Brandon Powell. But if you look at the Bears, since they're not bringing Keenan Allen back in all likelihood, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze year 2. Tyler Scott, Zacchaeus they brought in, but I do think that Moore sees a clearer opportunity with the Bears as well as with Ben Johnson and company, and maybe that's what it comes down to. And the Bears are in a spot where maybe they'll overpay Rondale Moore a little bit, they'll pay that premium, and the Vikings, something that you do respect about Kwesi is that, that he sets the price. Like, this is what we'll offer. If you can get better, best of luck to you. But Moore being behind clearly Jefferson, Addison, and maybe even Speedy Naylor, maybe he sees that he can catch more balls with the Bears, and maybe the Bears will overpay him, just like they did with Drew Dahlman. What they're going to do with Joe Thuney, as well as paying full freight for Jonah Jackson as well. So that's also a possibility. So it could be a spot too where Rondale is just shopping around. And he could circle back and eventually join the Vikings, whether after these visits or after the draft when that comp pick window closes. But either way, I obviously would still love Rondale Moore in purple, but we'll see. We'll see. The business is the business. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Rondale Moore, turncoat. Rondale Moore visiting the Bears after having a visit with the Vikings over the weekend. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Support the work. Skol. Production value.